A man walks into a bar with his friends. He laughs, he talks, he's seen on camera, and then he disappears. No struggle, no screams, no CCTV footage of him leaving, no body ever found. To this day, no one knows what really happened to Brian Shaffer. Some say he slipped out through a hidden exit. Some say he was murdered inside the bar. Some believe he staged his own disappearance. Others think something far darker took place. But one thing is certain. Brian Shaffer walked into a bar in 2006 and never walked out again.
New tonight, inside the investigation of a possible break in one of our area's biggest mysteries. What happened to Brian Shaffer? He was an OSU student who disappeared back in 2006, never to be seen or heard from again.
Now, almost 14 years later, Crime Tracker 10 brought a potential clue to police. Angela Ann explains how the FBI got involved, what they found out, and what happens next.
When it comes to missing persons in Ohio, there is one name that probably resonates more than any other: Brian Shaffer. His case has the makings of a Hollywood movie. A young medical student last seen going up this escalator to a popular campus area bar. But video never showed him leaving. Or did he? Nearly 14 years after Brian disappeared, this photo recently started circulating of a man, supposedly homeless and American, in Tijuana, Mexico. It said, "Help locate." Facebook groups dedicated to finding Brian swore it was him. The theories grew rampant. Brian was alive. So we brought the photo to the attention of Columbus Police and Detective Blanche Tucker.
When you first saw this, what did you think?
I was like, wow, it could be. Could it be? It's a possibility.
Because it does look a little
like him. It does.
It was the first big break for the Brian Shaffer case. Crime Tracker 10 got unprecedented access to the files, showing the endless interviews and the leads police exhausted year after year.
We still get calls and we still receive tips.
Despite those tips and the neighborhood searches, plus pleas for information, answers never came until this photo.
It appeared that it could be Brian Shaffer, but to see if it was him, I contact, the FBI, who assists us in a lot of our cases, to see if they can do a facial recognition.
So the FBI compared the Tijuana man photo with the others they already had in a file of Brian. It took 4 weeks, but finally, Detective Tucker had her answer.
That it wasn't him.
It was not him.
Correct.
Was that a letdown?
It was. My hopes were high that it could be him.
Foul play has never been ruled out, nor has the fact that Brian maybe just took off. The stresses of life, med school, and losing a mother to cancer.
Do you feel that somebody that has been interviewed in the past maybe withheld information?
I do.
You do? But you can't say who yet.
Can't say who.
Under CPD's new cold case initiative, Detective Tucker is now reviewing every binder once again. And while this photo is now a dead end, it is, at least for her, progress in a case that continues to haunt.
It would mean closure. Not just closure for us, but closure for the family and the friends.
For Crime Tracker 10, Angela Ann, 10 TV News.
On the night of March 31st, 2006, 27-year-old Brian Shaffer was celebrating the end of his medical school exams in Columbus, Ohio. Brian was smart, outgoing, popular. He had just finished a tough set of finals at Ohio State University College of Medicine. To celebrate, he went out drinking with friends. They started at one bar, then moved to another, and finally ended up at a popular nightclub called the Ugly Tuna Saloona. The Ugly Tuna Saloona was located on the second floor of a building near campus. It had one main entrance, a stairwell going down, and a few service exits that were supposedly restricted to staff. Around 1:15 a.m., Brian was caught on CCTV footage entering the bar with two friends. This would be the last confirmed sighting of him. Inside the bar, witnesses later said Brian was flirting with women, laughing, drinking, enjoying himself. At around 1:55 a.m., Brian told his friends he was going to talk to two women he had just met. His friends waited near the entrance for him to come back. They waited, and waited, and waited. Brian never returned. At 2:00 a.m., the bar closed. His friends searched inside the bar. They checked the bathrooms. They looked outside. They called his phone. No answer. At first, they assumed Brian had left with someone. Maybe he met a girl. Maybe he went to another bar. But when morning came, and Brian still hadn't returned home, panic set in. His friends filed a missing person report. Police immediately reviewed the security footage from the Ugly Tuna Saloona. What they found shocked everyone. The cameras clearly showed Brian entering the bar, but there was no footage of him ever leaving. Not through the main entrance, not down the stairwell, not past any camera angle. It was as if Brian had vanished into thin air. Investigators searched the entire building. They checked the bar, the bathrooms, the basement, the surrounding construction areas. Nothing. No blood. No signs of a struggle. No witnesses who saw him leave. They even drained nearby construction pits and dumpsters. Still nothing. Brian's cell phone last pinged near the bar at 2:01 a.m. Then it went dead. His credit cards were never used again. His bank accounts untouched. His passport left behind. It was like he simply stopped existing. As days turned into weeks, theories began to grow. Some believe Brian found a service exit that wasn't covered by cameras. Maybe he stepped outside unnoticed. Maybe he got into a car. Maybe something happened shortly after. But investigators said all exits were monitored, and no one reported seeing him leave. Another theory suggests Brian was killed inside the bar. Maybe a fight broke out. Maybe someone attacked him. Maybe staff helped cover it up, but no blood was ever found. And dozens of people were inside the bar that night. No one reported anything suspicious. At the time, there was a large construction zone near the bar. Some believe Brian wandered outside drunk and fell into a pit or hole. Police searched the area extensively. They found nothing. Some believe Brian intentionally vanished. He had recently lost his mother to cancer. He was reportedly stressed and depressed. He may have wanted a fresh start, but he left everything behind. No money, no documents, no goodbye note, and no confirmed sightings since 2006. The darkest theory suggests Brian was killed and his body was secretly removed through a hidden route. Some believe there was a temporary exit created by construction. Others believe someone working at the bar was involved, but there is no evidence to prove it. Brian's father spent years searching for his son. He passed away in 2008 without ever knowing what happened to Brian. His brother still hopes for answers. His friends still feel guilty for letting him out of their sight. And to this day, the case remains unsolved. A man walked into a bar. He laughed. He talked. He lived his life like any other night. And then he vanished. No body, no goodbye, no answers. What really happened to Brian Shaffer? Did he leave unseen? Was he murdered? Did he choose to disappear? Or is the truth something even darker? One thing is certain. Somewhere out there, the truth is waiting to be found. And if this case gave you chills, if it made you question what you think you know, take a moment to like this video. Subscribe to Yi the Detective for more real-life mysteries and unsolved cases. And share this story with someone who loves true crime, because every mystery has a story, and every story deserves the truth.